Hello, hello! Hello, hello, I'm Joe, and welcome to the video. So as you can see right there, I'm officially done with high school, and I'm pretty excited about it. Yesterday, I had my AP Calculus test, and I think that's the last time I'm ever gonna set foot in that building, and honestly, thank the Lord. School, I don't know. I have very mixed feelings on it. I have mixed feelings about leaving it behind, which I feel like most people graduating feel that way. But for the most part, I'm glad to be done with it. It wasn't really providing me much joy in my life by the end of it. It's only been one day, but it's been good. But with high school ending and with this school year ending in general, that kind of makes me just want to be done with this sketchbook. I've been working in this since, I think, January of this year, and I'm kind of tired of it, I'm not gonna lie. I love it to death. Don't get me wrong, there's some good stuff in here, but with that being said, a lot of it is just kind of old and outdated. I just want to start a new sketchbook. So today I'm going to be filling a spread. It's not going to be my last spread, but it's going to be a spread. And I want to do something that's going to be simple, but also something that won't be ugly. That's my goal for today. Sometimes I'll allow my sketchbook to be ugly, but not today. I'm not doing that. So let me go ahead and flip to where I am in my sketchbook, which, by the way, here's my place. Currently, it's May 9th, I think? Yeah, it's May 9th. And let me count how many pages I have filled, like both front and back, during May so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Maybe 13. So far in May, I have done 13 pages, which is really good for me. But do y'all want to know how many pages I filled front and back for April? Let's go ahead and count. 1, 2, 3, maybe? 3 pages for the entirety of April. I'm really trying to make up for the lack of sketchbook activity I had in that month, and I think I'm doing a pretty good job so far. So now, like I said, I'm gonna work on this spread, and I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna draw stuff that I like. And not just because I think it's gonna be easy for me to make, but also because I kind of want to make a piece or a spread that just reflects where I am in life right now. So while I'm gonna be drawing stuff I like this little guy right here, look at him. Look at him. I'm gonna draw him. You know I'm gonna draw him. But while I'm gonna be drawing stuff like that, I think I'm also just gonna write down or draw things about where I am mentally and where I am with my friends and just a bunch of different things. The mediums I'm gonna use, I think, are gonna be... I might use Micron. I think I've mentioned on my channel that I hate Microns before, but I used them for a previous spread, and I kind of like them again. But yeah, so for this spread, I think I'm gonna use Microns, and then colored pencils. With all that out of the way, I think for now, I'm gonna do some sketching. So I have all my sketching supplies, and now I'm just gonna sketch. Actually, am I gonna sketch? Actually, I think I'm just gonna use this Micron, and I'll see how it goes. And if I hate it, then I can deal with it. And I'll just continue sketching everything else. So I'm gonna get started. Voiceover Joe back at it again. If you hear any background noise, please ignore it, because my family is loud and my dog is loud and things are loud. So I'm not the proudest of this video. My last 2 uploads, I feel like I put a lot of effort into and I ended up really liking them. But this one, I felt like I just kind of rushed to put together. Since school has ended, I've kind of gotten it in my mind, okay, there's no excuse for me not to upload at least once every 2 weeks. And so I just decided I would start recording whatever I was gonna do in my sketchbook that day and then upload that to YouTube, which is what this video is. But I ended up doubting what I was gonna do in my sketchbook because originally I was gonna do anatomy practice and stuff like that. but sketching while I'm being recorded is just such a, like, nerve-wracking thing to me, and I don't know why. Specifically if I'm, like, actually trying to have the thing look good, which is why I do most of my sketching off camera. Plus, recently, I've started, like, drawing a lot more while sitting in a bed or, like, in an actual comfortable chair rather than my desk. And I find that it's a lot easier to make art that way. And I don't really know why, but that's just kind of how it's been. The art that I'm making in this video was not really art that I wanted to make. That's not to say I think it's bad, it's just, I just kind of did it for the YouTube, you know? Also, I've recently been having like a super complicated relationship with my art. I've started following a lot of artists on Instagram and stuff who are working within like the animation industry, and just seeing like professional visual developers work, or like professional animators, or like just people like that. It inspires me so much, and yet I feel like my artwork is not to that point at all. That's not to say I think I'm a bad artist, but it's like I have some foundational skills, I just don't know what to do with them. I feel like beyond doing YouTube and my sketchbook, I don't want to say art has been pointless for me, because it definitely hasn't. I always enjoy doing art. But it's been a lot more confusing lately. This is also one of the reasons why I don't really want to get an Instagram or like any other social media for my art. I want to get social media just so like I can have it, but I don't want to keep up with it, and I don't want to care about numbers, and just it just sounds like such a hassle. Like seeing artists that have an Instagram and a Twitter and an Etsy and a TikTok, like having all those things at once, I don't get how people do it. I really don't get how people do it. I can barely handle YouTube on its own. But yeah, overall I've just kind of been feeling about my art. But now I kind of have a little bit of a funny story about this plush that I'm drawing right now. So as y'all know, I'm a Pokemon fan. I'm not like a diehard, know all the gym leaders, know all the trainers, know all the Pokemon fan, but I'm more of a casual, like, oh yeah, I've played 2 or 3 of the games and I enjoyed them, so I consider myself a fan, you know? And recently, Jaden Animations made a video where she ranked like 140 different Pokemon plushes, all from the same like plush line, but dude, whenever she pulled out Reuniclus, I don't even know how to pronounce it, I don't care if I'm pronouncing it wrong, but whenever she pulled out that Pokemon, I was like, I need that Pokemon. Which, if you don't know, Reuniclus is the Pokemon I'm drawing right now. So I watched that video. I waited about 5 days to actually check the Pokemon Center website to see if it's in stock. Because to be honest, I had kind of forgotten about it, but then in the middle of school one day, it just popped into my head like a vision, and I was like, ooh, I want to see if this is still in stock. So I go to the Pokemon Center website, boom, it's available for $15. I'm like, let's go, I'm gonna buy this when I get home. So skip like 4 hours, I'm home, and I'm just kind of laying in my bed, and then the Pokemon plush pops into my head, like a vision, once again. And I'm like, oh, I need to buy it. So I go to the website, I load it up, I refresh the page, boom, it's out of stock. And I was devastated. I had told my friend earlier that day at lunch, like, oh my gosh, look at the plush I'm gonna get. Did she care? Probably not. But I texted her anyways, like, dude, it was out of stock. When I was doing that, my mom walked in the room. She noticed I looked sad. She was like, oh, what's up? And I was like, this Pokemon plush I wanted went out of stock. And she just kind of like rolled her eyes. She's like, oh, that sucks, I guess. And I was like, it does suck. I was in actual like anguish. But I was still determined. I knew that if it was sold out, somewhere online it was being sold for an unreasonable price. A price that I was willing to pay. So I look up Reuniclus Sitting Cutie on Google, and I go to the shopping tab, and then I see an eBay listing for $30 plus $5 shipping plus tax. You might be thinking, Joe, that's more than twice the price of the original plush. Are you gonna buy it? I mean, you already know the outcome of the story. So I bought it right then and there. I wanted to make sure that I had that plush. I gave in to the scalpers. I'm sorry, y'all, but I needed it. Its name is Killer Queen. Yep, that's my Pokemon plush. Okay, so I'm done with this little guy, and he looks a little messed up, but It's okay. I kind of want to just draw him from different angles now, because I've been obsessed with this plush ever since I got it. I think I got it last Friday, so I've only had it for 4 days, but everywhere I go, he is with me. If I'm going into town, I bring him and I put him in my car. If I'm sitting in my room, he will come with me in my room. I'm like a child with the new Build-A-Bear that they got. That's where I'm at with this guy right now. I love him so much. And now, I'm not sure what else to do with the rest of the page. I might just doodle because I'm not really in the mood to put like all of my effort into one sketchbook spread. So yeah, I don't know. Let's just see how it goes. So I said earlier in my video that this page, or this spread, was going to be a kind of representation of where I'm at in life right now. You know, a representation of my interests, my mental state, my friends, I don't know, other things, I guess. And the moment that I drew Salmon Run on this page, I completely changed the meaning of it. But you might be thinking, Joe, isn't Salmon Run one of your main special interests? You've had it for months and you've been absolutely obsessed with it? Yes. I have been. Or I had been. Recently, I've kind of been falling out of love with the game. And it kind of sucks, because like I just mentioned, it's been one of my special interests for months. And if you're neurotypical, you might not understand it that much, but like when I have a special interest, it takes up a lot of room in my mind, and I love it to death. So for me to fall out of love with my special interest is like falling out of love with a partner of 5 years. I thought we were gonna grow up and get married, but now I don't even know what I'm doing with my life anymore. And it sounds overdramatic, but that's just how my brain kind of processes these kinds of things. With Splatoon specifically, I've always gone through waves of being obsessed with this game and not obsessed with this game. Always in relation to, you know, the game's releases and whatnot. But now, I feel like Splatoon is dead. Especially since Tears of the Kingdom is releasing. Like, dude, the community's just gonna be dead. It's gonna be non-existent. And it sucks because, well, for one, I'm not a Zelda fan. Sorry, hate to say it. I've never really liked the games. Okay, that might be an unfair analysis. I've only played Breath of the Wild, and I didn't really like it that much. I don't even really know if I have a special interest right now, and that kind of sucks, because anytime I don't have a special interest, I just feel like there's like a little void in my heart, because I need something to obsess over. Maybe my special interest right now is my Killer Queen plush. Anyways, yeah. As much as it seems like I'm kind of being a hater about everything in this video, and I apologize about that, I don't mean to be a downer, I really, really like how this page is turning out. I didn't know how to feel about it while I was working on it. Like when I was doing the line art for Killer Queen, I wasn't really sure about it. I liked the line art. It looked okay. I didn't really know how to feel about its placement on the page. And then I started coloring it, and I was like, this looks okay. But it wasn't my favorite. And it was the same when I was drawing these Salmon Run characters. I was just like, I don't know how to feel about this. And now, I'm doing this voiceover after I finish the page, and I really like it. Do I think it's my best work? Absolutely not. But is it work that I like? Yeah. And I think that's good enough. I feel like I always end up having such mixed feelings about the art that I'm posting on YouTube. And I don't know if it's just because, like, I know an audience is gonna see this, and though it might be only, like, 1,000 or 2,000 people, that's still, like, a lot of eyes looking at my art. And I've never really gotten a hate comment on my art specifically, but I don't know, it's just hard to not be nervous about sharing it online. Especially seeing how TikTok treats its artists. TikTok sucks. I hate that app so much. I used to post semi-regularly on that app, but then I left just because it's so toxic. If you don't have a specific conventionally attractive art style, people there will go nuts. They will take personal offense to that, and they will just rip you to shreds. I think one good example of what I'm talking about is that rendering process person. And I know I said those 2 words and some of y'all just got a migraine, and I'm sorry about that, but it's a good example. If you don't know what the rendering process incident was, basically some 13, 14-year-old artist posted a video on TikTok of their quote-unquote rendering process, where they just kind of showed what they did to make their art look the way it did, which is pretty innocent on its own, you know? But the thing that made it like controversial for whatever reason was that the person drew the eyes way too far up on the head, and people just went nuts about it. I saw the original TikTok when it only had like a few hundred likes, and I remember going to the comments and there were some people just hating on it, and I was like, literally, what's the point of hating on this person? But then the next day I saw a TikTok about the other TikTok, and then it just blew up and it became a huge meme, which is still referenced to this day, and anyone who still references it is probably the most insufferable person on the planet. Yeah, TLDR, I don't like TikTok, like, at all. It sucks. That's about it for that ramble, I guess. I feel like I've been so negative in this video, and I don't really know why. At least I love Killer Queen, and no, I won't ever shut up about this plush. I love it so much. Okay, so I went back and I added a few things to the page. Overall, I like it so far. I think it's turning out pretty cute. Wait, actually, hold on. Do that real quick. Yeah, okay. I think that's good. There are some things I don't like about it. Like, I feel like there's too much white, empty space. But I also don't really know what I would want to do with this empty space. Also, hold on. But yeah, now I think I'm gonna move on to this page. I think I'm gonna draw some of my OCs for this page because I've been drawing them a lot more than I have been in the past, and I kind of think it would be interesting for me to introduce y'all to all of them. So that's what I'm gonna do. So before I go on to talk about my characters and my story and whatnot, I just want to say a quick thank y'all so much for watching this far into the video. If you like what you see and you want to show your support, I have a Pinterest you can go follow. I'm relatively active on there. I post digital art on there that I never show on YouTube, so if you're interested in that, go check it out. And otherwise, if you want to support me, just leave a like on this video. It would be greatly, greatly appreciated. So thank y'all so much. And now I'm gonna ramble about my characters and story. Okay, I'm sorry y'all, I keep lying in this video. So I said I was gonna draw all of my OCs on this page, right? Well, that was a lie. I end up only drawing the one that I'm sketching right now. I mean, this isn't the only drawing that ends up on the page. I draw him multiple times, but anyways. I also mentioned that I've never shown my characters on this channel before, and that was a big fat lie. First of all, 2 of them were in my original sketchbook tour, Calvin and Lunabelle, and then the rest of them I showed in my last video. So, I was being a little silly when I said that back there, excuse me. Now I kind of want to talk about my story, but I also don't want to at all. I've been talking about it a lot to my boyfriend and my good friends, but I just don't have everything figured out for it yet. And so I'm very fearful that like I'll say something about it publicly and then it won't happen in my actual story and I'll have to change it all up and just, it's stupid. It's not like I'm fearing judgment or anything, because I think the story idea that I have is interesting and it's a unique concept, but I want to gatekeep everything about it until I'm actually able to release my story as a sort of like film or show, or even like an animatic that I make myself, or at the very least until I have all the plot points, all the story ideas, and all the stuff down. But I'll talk about some basic things about it. My story is very, very inspired by Arcane, just in the way that I'll structure my story. If you don't know, Arcane is a Netflix animated show, and it's wonderful, it's gorgeous. Watch it if you haven't. But their story is split into 3 parts, with the first part taking place 10 or so years before the rest of the story. And that's kind of how I want my story to be. So for the first part, I'm planning on the protagonists being Calvin and Bill. But then, for the rest of the story, I want it to be focused on Lunabelle, who is Bill's brother. There is a good reason, but I'm not gonna go into why until I actually have everything set in stone. But what I will say is the reason why I'm using Bill and Lunabelle as my protagonists is because they are two sides of the same coin, and I want to get both their perspectives on what's happening in the story. I hate talking about this so vaguely, and I just realized I haven't really talked about Cromwell at all, but he's a very important part of the story. I'm not gonna say why, but yeah, considering I've been working on this story since October of last year, I'm pretty dedicated on trying to get something out of it, because this is the longest that I've actually worked on something. Some of the characters in this are like 5 years old, and I've had nothing to do with them. But ever since I came up with like a basic plot and a basic idea, it's like I've had these puzzle pieces for so long, and I've never known what to do with them until now. And now I'm piecing them all together, and it's gonna come out to be a beautiful masterpiece. Or something horrible and made by an amateur writer. Which, that sounds a bit more realistic, but I'm gonna be a little more hopeful than that. Also, I want to say one last thing. Dear God, this is never gonna come out in book format. I hate books. If it's gonna be in book format, it's gonna be a comic, you bet your butt. I'm a visual artist. I'm not gonna waste my talents. I'm not gonna come up with all this concept art and all this character design and just not use any of it because that's stupid. I don't want to write. Reading is boring. Sorry to all y'all reading fans out there. I'm sorry, Kylie, specifically. You might be watching this and you might be crying, but I'm just saying. Oh, I'll give y'all the title of my story at least. It's Collateral. Probably would have been easier if I had used that the entire time instead of just calling it my story and being really redundant. But anyways, yeah. My story ramble is over. Enjoy the rest of the video. Okay, y'all, so I have this page done. Actually, I lied, I don't. So I went back and I did a few more things off camera, as I usually do. I really wanted to go back and add some green on this page, since it was one of the main colors on this one. I don't know, I wanted them to look a bit more cohesive. So I just drew some strawberries on the side, and then I drew some little plant leaf things. I don't really know what they are, but I mean, they're there. And now I'm almost done, but I cannot come up with something to put in this space for the life of me. So I think I'm gonna do that off camera real quick, and then I'm gonna come back, and I'm gonna have the page finished. And we're gonna be done, and it's gonna be great. Alright, I'm done. And now I'm gonna show y'all what I did. Boom. Nothing special. I literally added one thing. I really liked the line art for it. I don't know how to feel about the coloring, but it's okay. Overall, I don't know. I like everything individually. I think it all looks good, but I also hate it at the same time. I don't really know. I think it's just been a while since I've actually like sat down and colored stuff. You know, I feel like I really need to work on my color theory because I'm not that good at that, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, overall, I like it. It's fine. So I think my next video is gonna be me finishing up my sketchbook, and then after my next video is gonna be another sketchbook tour. So I hope y'all are looking forward to that. Yeah, so if you liked this video, like, comment, and maybe even subscribe if you haven't. If you really enjoyed it, I have some more content up on my channel. I think I have about 6 videos up right now. And, so yeah, that's about it. I'll see y'all in the next one. Oh, bye. Oh wait, I gotta, look, he's waving bye. That probably looks so weird.